everyone, I'm Mind, and this is set 71453, Izzie and Bunchu the Bunny from the LEGO Dreamzzz theme. This set contains 259 pieces, one full-size minifigure as well as one tiny figure, and it will retail for $19.99 in the US as well as $20.99 in most places in Europe. This set was sent to me early for review by the LEGO group through the LEGO Ambassador Network, but all opinions expressed in this video are my own. This set is of course a LEGO Dreamzzz set, meaning it does have an alternate build, so make sure to watch this video all the way to the end if you want to see both builds in this set, and also make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new because I'm doing early reviews of almost all the LEGO Dreamzzz sets, and I only have one more left after this one, so in case you missed the other ones you can go check them out on my channel after this video, but now let's get into the review. So here's the build of the set, Bunchu the Bunny, and if you haven't seen the LEGO Dream show, the basic concept behind this is the character in this set, Izzie, has like a plush bunny toy that she carries around that's from like some TV show that she watches, but then in the dream world she turned it into like this giant moving creature. And then this is one of two $20 sets this wave. There's this one and then there's the Mateo and Zeblob the robot set, and the two of them are very similar to each other. And when pictures first came out, my initial impression was like, yeah, both of these are a great deal, but I honestly really didn't like the look of this one. But now having this all built up, I'll say this looks better in hand than it does on the box, but even still I don't like it as much as the Mateo set. So let's go through everything here. Starting at Bunchu's feet, you can see she's wearing these like roller skates that have these giant blast pieces coming out the back. Now those pieces are all new for this wave and they come in different colors in different sets, however this is one of only two sets that the yellow piece comes in, but you can see it's still molded in trans yellow and like bright orange in the center. And that's awesome, it really looks like the roller skates are just being propelled forward. The roller skates themselves though, just simple little builds, 4 wheels on each, and you can see one connects to each foot. And then coming up to the feet itself, I mean they're very flat, very much like actual bunny feet, so I think they're about as good as they could be. The legs here use the LEGO pipe pieces and they connect to these new like ratchet joints, which uses the same like rigid Technic joint system that LEGO's used for a very long time. It's just a new part to actually connect them, and it's designed to transition into those pipe pieces really smoothly, and I think that actually works pretty well. But of course this gives a huge range of articulation here. You move the legs all the way forward, all the way back, as well as kick them out to the sides like this. So all those things combined, there's just so many different ways you can pose this. The pipe piece itself is also able to swivel, so that gives you more options for posability, and then of course the feet themselves are on mini ball joints. On Bunchu's body we have a printed Dream Chasers logo in the center. That's an all new part for this wave and it does come in a few sets. However, it's not in every single one of them, so it's definitely nice to see here. And this is the cheapest way to get that part if you're interested. Then Bunchu's arms connect on with mini ball joints and they use another pipe piece, though this is the smaller pipe piece. And I actually think that works surprisingly well. The pipe pieces are just very cartoony, so for a character that's meant to be from a cartoon, I think using that in 3D works really well. Bunchu also has like wheel pieces right here to be little gauntlets, and then these hands aren't able to grab onto anything, but there's just like these 3 little fingers. Turning Bunchu around, there's just a fluffy tail at the back and then a ton of open anti-studs. This is meant to be an organic creature, so I kind of wish they covered that up a bit more, and maybe somehow made it look a bit fluffier, because yeah, this entire build feels very flat from the back, and in my opinion just doesn't really match what this character is supposed to be. Then Bunchu's head connects on with a regular ball joint and there's a good range of motion there, and you can see her face print's actually made up of 2 parts, one with the eyes and nose and everything, and the other with the mouth. I think the shaping of everything here is done pretty well, and then she's got the 2 giant rabbit ears at the top, which of course makes sense, and those are each on mini ball joints themselves, so you can change how those are displayed. Personally, I kinda like having them out like this, but on the box art and everything they have them back like this. You can also see there's studs on the top of Bunchu's head, which I thought was weird at first, but then I realized that's actually meant to be a place for Izzie to stand, so there's how she looks actually riding on top. Now of course this is a LEGO Dream set, so there is an alternate build in this set, so let's take a real quick look at the instructions before I rebuild it. You can see the cover is fully illustrated, and I will say that Bunchu feels a lot more organic here than it does in the actual model. Obviously that's a lot easier to do in a drawing, but yeah, there's a pretty big difference between those two. And then when you're building it and you get to bag 3 in this set, you have 2 different options as to what you want to put together. You can see the top option is what we just looked at, it's got the gauntlets on and these roller skates, but then there's the alternate option too, where you put wings on and like a bee stinger, which is actually quite interesting. I'm excited to put that one together. But first I guess let me just show you the default form of Bunchu, and this is a build where it's actually very easy to go back and forth, because all I have to do is pop those orange gauntlets off the arms, and then take the roller skates off the bottom of the feet. There's a look at Bunchu with everything removed. I actually really like the motion on this build. Those pipe pieces make it all seem very dynamic, so even if there are some awkward parts, like I do think the build looks a little robotic in places and it's not meant to be, there's a ton of personality to a pose like this. And because the feet on Bunchu are just so big and flat, it's very easy to pose too. Here's a look at the roller skate builds removed from the feet, as well as the little gauntlets on the hands. But now I'm gonna rebuild those and reattach them in like the bee stinger form. And there you go, here's the alternate build of Bunchu, and there's not a huge difference here. You can see the tail at the back's been completely removed, and as the picture suggested, it's now been replaced by a little bee stinger. I do like how that looks, but I don't know, I kind of wish it was a bit bigger. The picture made it seem a bit bigger, and I think that would have been a more dramatic change between the different versions of this build. But yeah, it's just this little thing that goes in place of the tail and essentially accomplishes the same exact thing. It just now has a stinger on the end. Then on top of Bunchu's head where Izzie used to stand, now we have 2 little antennas. Again, that fits with the whole like insect bee theme. And now there's this giant orange platform at the back with the 2 blast pieces coming off of it to be little wings. And these can't be moved up or down or anything, but they can flap forward and back. So I guess here's a look at how it would look to have Bunchu fly. This platform also does have a new spot for Izzie to stand, so that way she could still ride on Bunchu. But yeah, I really don't have too much else to say on this. I mean, it's fine, but it's not like a dramatically different build because this is a relatively small set. But I think that's about all I have to say on the build of this set, at least for now. I'll talk about it more at the end of this video. But now let's take a look at the minifigures that this set comes with, and then I'll give you my overall thoughts. Here's a look at the two figures in this set. We of course have Izzie, and then we just have a generic Grimspawn. Now, Izzie is one of my favorite minifigures of the entire LEGO Dreamzzz Wave. However, unfortunately, this is not the complete version of her. In other sets, she comes with like a cloth skirt piece around her waist, and she just does not have that here. That's a little bit unfortunate to see because that definitely makes this figure feel a lot higher quality, but even still, this is an amazing minifigure without that. I just wish you weren't forced to buy a bigger set to get that part. Anyway, take a look at the rest of the figure. The best part about this figure is for sure that hairpiece. That hairpiece is amazing. It's dual molded in sparkly blue and sparkly purple, and just seeing it all reflect in the light looks incredible. Praetorian guard armor in lavender is a really fun recolor, and then I like her face print a lot too, where she's like smiling and laughing and she's got like these blue eyebrows. And I don't like this face print nearly as much, but I think it's still fine. And I love the colors and design in her torso print too. There's like lots of those little silver sparkles, but she's also like very armored. And you can see she does have like a printed skirt that comes down to her waist, however, of course, that's meant to go with the cloth skirt piece that just doesn't come in the set. But I do really like the leg piece too, with the dual molding with the lavender and the blue. And you can see she even has like silver printed shoes at the bottom. Her accessory is this all new sword piece for this wave, which again looks incredible. Dual molded in gold and trans blue. And it's got a stud at the front if you want to attach something there. But even just on its own, it's fantastic. And she also comes with an hourglass piece with a printed tile on top. So yeah, fantastic minifigure, really great to get her for cheap because all the other sets she comes in are relatively expensive, which is a bit weird because she is one of the main characters of the show, but I am happy she comes in at least one cheap set, even if it isn't the full version of her, because yeah, this one is fantastic. I really like this figure. And then the generic Grimspawn is a generic Grimspawn. You can see he comes with like a little net as an accessory, and he's captured this plush bunny right here. The plush bunny is of course the actual Bunchu plush that we see in the show, the one that transforms into the big rabbit that's like the main build of this set. So it's cool to get that here too. Now this is not exclusive to this set, it does also come in the Nightmare Shark ship, but obviously this is a much cheaper way to get that part. And there's some good printing on it too, and I like the color of it. That net piece is nice to see too. I remember the first time I got that piece, I thought it was a lot of fun, so I'm happy to see it's still coming in sets. And then the Grimspawn just uses like a Black Knight's helmet with this pink fire coming out. Oops. And I think that's a really good color for that part. So yeah, for a $20 set, I think this is a perfectly solid minifigure selection. Izzie is fantastic, and then Grimspawn's about what he's supposed to be. I would have liked the waist cape here, but it's not a huge deal. She doesn't have it. And so, overall, what are my thoughts on this set? Being completely honest, this set really isn't for me. I can acknowledge it was done a lot better than I was expecting it to be. However, between the two $20 sets, I much prefer Mateo and Z-Blob the robot. That being said, if you like LEGO Dreamzzz and you're on a budget, getting those two sets together would actually probably be pretty good. Because yeah, as I said, this is by far the cheapest way to get Izzie, and she is an incredible minifigure. And this set is genuinely a good deal for $20. The size feels just right. You get like 260 pieces, 2 minifigures. So it really just comes down to the aesthetics of this set, because what this set wants to be, I think it actually does pretty well. But if you have no interest in like a giant brick-built anime bunny, then you probably don't need this set. However, if that is something that interests you, I don't think you'll be disappointed. So yeah, it's not the level of must-have by any means, but if you want Izzie for cheap or you like the build, I would still recommend it in that sense. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this set in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.